Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Magic the Gathering video with me, Dark Native. This time we're going to do something a little different. Instead of doing a deck building or some gameplay on Arena, we're going to talk about some of the spoilers that have been released for Theros Beyond Death and some of the cards I'm looking forward to playing with and wanting to build decks around. I'm going to start with Polukranos Unchained because I am super stoked about Polukranos. It is a black and a green that comes out as a 6/6. And if it escapes, comes with 12/12 counters on it. If damage would be dealt to it, you remove that many counters, and it can fight. Pay one, a blue and a green. Oh, sorry, one in a black and a green, and it can fight. And its escape is 4 black and a green, and exiles 6 of the cards from the graveyard. So initially, when I looked at this, I thought it was kind of a high cost to get out of the graveyard with 6 of the cards. But when you really think about it, a black and a green, you could run lots of 1-cost Death Touch or 1-cost Lifelink. Buys you early blockers on top of giving you life and removal. And then all of a sudden, you have a ton of stuff that you really don't care to bring back that are easily exilable for only 6. So early game, you get a 6/6 for 4 that requires an immediate answer. And then if they don't answer it, that's a 6/6 stuck to the board, and it can be brought back. It's a little bit weak in the regards that like every time it hits it loses counters, but it's a great removal piece because if it sticks on turn 4, or say you get the line of play of like turn 1 Gilded Goose, turn 2 Paradise Druid, you're looking at a turn 3 Polukranos at 6/6, and the only thing I can think of that could remove, there's only a few things at 3 cost that can remove it. You have Murderous Rider. You probably have cost 4 at 6. I mean there's a couple of removal that says I think the Epic Downfall, I think that only costs 2 or 3. I think it costs 2, but it requires to have an answer in hand immediately that way, and I just like it because I like big meaty creatures, and I've always liked Hydras. So I liked Polukranos back in Theros, and he was pretty insane then too. But I'm looking forward to building a deck around this card. Then we have Kunoros, Hound of a Theros. Hold on, I'm not butchering his name too much. This thing is going to be dumb. 1, a white and a black, for a 3/3 with Vigilance, Menace, and Lifelink. This is going to completely shut down the exile or the brought back or escape mechanics, because creatures from graveyards can't enter the battlefield and players can't cast spells from graveyards. So you play this on turn 3 and immediately they can't bring stuff back. Which makes this so good is because there's a lot of 2-cost legendary enchantments that they're going to play that allow them to get their effects, because as soon as they enter the battlefield, they go to the graveyard because they weren't using the escape mechanic. Well, if they play that, it goes to the graveyard, and you play this right behind it, now they can't get it back. So they get the 1 value out of it, and then shoot, this I think this card is straight broken. This is a very, 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 very broken card. I think the only thing that keeps it from just being insane is the fact that it's a legendary, so you can't have 2 and 3 copies of this out at the same time. But this will, I think, will be a very fun card to go around. This will be your like one of those. I'm going to shut down all types of escape mechanics. Look forward to this card. This card is going to be a lot of fun. Klothos, God of Destiny. Oh man. Every you guys know me, I like my red green and I like my stompy green. So a card that comes out that lets me get mana at the beginning of my main phase, and then I can also use it as graveyard hate to gain life and do 2 damage. Think about this. If this costs 3, right? What if you pair this with the red green spell that pings every time you do any kind of spell that's not a creature? Cindervines. Thank you. Cindervines. Say you have Cindervines on turn 2, Klothos on turn 3. So now every time your opponent plays a spell, they get pinged for 1. and then at the beginning of your main phase, you ping them for 2. Every time you exile a card from their graveyard, as long as it's not a land. So this could be an extremely good, like, I hate you Simic Flash deck. Easily. Could be the basis of a, like, I hate you blue-green. Because on turn 2, you can stop, well, you won't stop, but you can make them think twice about casting that Mystical Dispute or that Quench as soon as turn 2. And then turn 3, play this if they don't have an answer. So now you have this indestructible enchantment that lets you prevent anything like Terramander getting big or anything else they want to pull, or like Arclight Phoenix from coming from the graveyard. This also can be used to prevent escape mechanics, because you can just exile them from the graveyard and then they don't get to come back. Like this is one of the other cards I'm super excited about playing. This is going to be like a really fun deck to make. You have Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Now, about this card. Excuse me. So about this card. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. This is dumb broken. This is a very broken card. You pay 3 for a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, you sacrifice it unless it escapes. So, right there. Comes in, you sack it, unless you use the escape mechanics and it goes away. So you're like, okay, no big deal. I paid 3 and I got nothing. Second set of text. Whenever Uro enters the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. So, on turn 3, you play this card, you gain 3 life, you draw a card, and then you put a land on the battlefield, and then this goes to the graveyard. So for 3 mana, you got a growth spiral that said, gain 3 life, draw a card, put a land on the battlefield. That is insane. That is retardedly insane. And then you can escape it for 4. Exile 5 other cards from your graveyard, and now you have a 6/6. So, if you find ways to, like, not even have it go to the graveyard when it comes in. If you want to do something real off the wall janky, you can use what's one I'm thinking of? I can't remember the name of the card. It's a white card. It's the fairy card that when it comes in, it says creature cards can't trigger their abilities when they enter the battlefield or when they die. So you wouldn't get the life and draw a card and put a land on the battlefield, but you would get a 6/6 for 3, which is dumb. A 6/6 for 3. I ain't even a chair. 6/6 for 3. Simic is already like stupid strong as it is right now, especially when they can flash in like I forgot the name of the wolf, but just you got Hydra Crasis. I want to play this card, but this card is going to be so degenerate when it's put in the deck. You can escape it for, and then of course if you have, if you got the normal ramp package with something like Nissa, and then oh my goodness, this is gonna be that instead of running the early counter spells, they just run 4 copies of this, and then drop this, and then it's just over. Like yeah, I'm done. Scoop. Yeah, it's real dumb. Croaxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. This looks like fun. Same thing as Uro. Enters the battlefield and then sacrifice unless you use the escape mechanic. But when it enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card, and then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card loses 3 life. I can see this going into Active Sacrifice, because you could do turn 3 Mayhem Devil, turn 4 Croaxa, sacrifice it, ping them for 1 life, make them discard a card. If they don't discard, if they discard anything that's or if they discard anything, they lose 2 life if it's not a land. Most people are going to discard, or yeah, if it is a land, excuse me, if it is a land, they lose 2 life. So, if they discard a land, they lose 3 life. If they don't discard a land, you get a good card at hand because it's not a land. So, yeah, I can see this. And then you can just exile 5 of the cards, pay 4, and then now you have a 6/6. And if you wanted to, you can sack it with the Priest of Forgotten Gods. And I can bring it back to 4 if you want to flash it that way. Probably don't have to, because once it's on the board from escape, it's a 6/6 that every time it swings, they have to discard a card that pings them for 2, or pings them for 3, if they don't discard, if they discard anything that's other than land. So, yeah, enough of that. So this card, this was back in Theros originally, and this card back then was kind of disgusting. It's a 3 and 2 black zombie that when it enters the battlefield, your opponent loses X life and you gain X life based on your devotion. So he's only a 2/4, which is meh. It's an okay static body, not really for a 5-cost creature, but he swings the game so hard. I can't tell you how many times when I was playing when Theros came out that I would have to scoop because of this card. Because people don't think, when he comes out and he goes, you lose X life, where X is your devotion to black, and then you gain the life lost this way. So if he comes out by himself, that's 2 devotion. Just by himself, it's 2 devotion. If for whatever reason your board is wiped and you have nothing, and on turn 5 you play the Gray Merchant, he loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. So that's actually a 4-point swing. So there's a 4-point difference in life simply from him coming out on his own. Say you got a 1-cost out and a 3-cost devotion. So you got 4 devotion out and he comes out and now you have 6 devotion. They lose 6 and you gain 6 life for a 12-point swing. 12-point difference. 12. But 3 cards. Just having 3 cards. 3 cards and 4 devotion already out. 12. He is. I'm happy to see him back. He's a very good card. Very good card. I hope people don't honor. Those who have played before with Theros, they'll know that he is definitely, if you have a mono black devotion, it's just mono black deck, period. Whether it's a devotion or not. Mono black, you're putting this guy in. Because he's just too good. There's no reason why you shouldn't pay 5 and at a minimum get a 4-point difference in life. At a minimum. What a 2/4 static body. Which means the only way they're gonna remove is Lava Coil. So now you have a chump blocker if he needs to, or he can start swinging it on his own if he wants to. Great card. Dryad of Elysian Grove. So this bad boy, this charmingly looking guy, another Simic deck. He's going into Simic. I mean, they already got Nissa to double their mana. Well, now you have another card that's going to make every land, every type of land. So you play this on turn 3, or better yet, you play Nissa on turn 3 and you follow turn 4 with this guy. Not only do you get to play an extra land each turn, lands you control have every basic land type in addition to their other types. So every land to Nissa is now a forest. I don't think you heard me. And Nissa gets tunnel vision and sees everything as a forest. So yeah, if you played this on turn 4 and you actually only had 4 mana, that's 8 available mana because everything's a forest now. And it doesn't even matter what type of mana. You could have Overgrown Tomb, any other temple, like they're not forced. Doesn't matter. Yeah, this is gonna be a very good card, and I look forward to running this in any. I would run this in freaking just a stompy deck with this straight green, or not even green. It doesn't even matter. I could add any color I want because Nissa can now. This makes it to where Nissa can essentially be in any deck they want to be. Make a red blue. Make a Izzet deck. Throw this in there. Boom. You can cast Nissa. Like, ooh. Yeah. Nissa can be ran in any deck because of this card now. It's essentially a chromatic lantern on a stick that says play an extra land. But yeah, this is gonna be some fun stuff. Destiny Spinner. Oh boy. Remember those times when you were running your green and you were like, I'm tired of my cards being encountered, so you splashed red just so you can have a riot mechanic added for that 3-cost card? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. So your cards can stop being countered. Well, how about a 2-cost card that has a 2/3 body on it that prevents your creatures and enchantment spells from being countered, and then you can pay 4 to make the land an XX elemental creature with trample and haste, where X is the number of enchantments you control. Even if you don't even care about that body of text, the first line: creature and enchantment spells you control can't be countered on turn 2. So no quench, no mystical dispute, no didn't say please. Like, just no, no, and no. So I'm thinking with this, I would probably want to try to do something like anti-spells. Destiny Spinner with Rhythm of the Wild. Top that off with, say, the Elysian Dryad. So now I have mana ramp. Drop Nissa and you can just essentially go to town with just Nissa. So the only thing you're worried about is removal. I mean, yeah, removal. Or bounce spells. This is going to be a fun card as well. I look forward to this one as well. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is Nyx Bloom Ancient. It's 4 and 3 green for an enchantment creature that has trample. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times as much of that mana instead. So, it costs 7 for a 5/5 body, which is not great at all, especially when you've got a 3-cost card with a 6/6 body, which is insane. But that line of text, if you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times as much. So I'm gonna blow your mind. It didn't say tap a land, didn't say tap a creature, didn't say tap an artifact. Tap a permanent. Anything that produces mana will now produce times 3. So if you want to go like far off in the distance, let's bring up the land that's hexproof. I can't think of the name of it. I'm so forgive me, my nose and sickness. Lotus Field, that's what it's called. Produces 3 of any kind. With this on the field, it now produces 9. You have a single land that produces 9 mana now. Yeah. Um, yeah. That's, yeah. I want to build something around this. Definitely. Yes. It's a 5/5 a trample. Okay, cool. Not the greatest, but cool. But yeah, this is gonna allow me to pull out anything I want to play out of my deck forever, as long as it stays on the field. Oh yes, this does stack with Nissa, who also produces double green for every forest. So with this sound of Nissa, you tap a forest with Nissa and it produces 2. This 3 times that. So now with this and Nissa, you're tapping for 6. Yeah, dumb. Just for like, for giggles and like jankiness. What if you ran Nyx Bloom Ancient with Nissa and the Elysian Dryad? So the Elysian Dryad, you could add extra land to the battlefield, and then this lets you tap for more mana. And that, yeah, just, oh man, so many things, so many great things. But that's my list of cards that I'm like really interested in playing. There's more come out. I'm pretty sure more will spark my interest. If there's any cards that you specifically like, make sure you leave a name or a comment and a like in the comments below. And let me know what you think and what your deck ideas are for the upcoming Theros Beyond Death. And that'll be the end of this video, because I think I've rambled on for quite some time. It's been a good like 15-20 minutes just talking about cards, but I like them. These are really good stuff, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. So hit the bell, hit the like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, what your deck ideas are, what you guys are looking forward to. And oh, as a disclaimer note, yes, I will be streaming live for the preview event for Theros Beyond Death. So later that afternoon, I will be live. I'm thinking about doing it on YouTube instead of Twitch. So if not, I'll make sure I'll let you guys know what I have planned. But I will be streaming the early access event for Theros Beyond Death on the 25th, which will be, sorry, not the 25th. Boy, I can't time. The 15th. I don't know why I said 25th. The 15th, which will be next week on Wednesday. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this new take I've done on just doing some banter talk and talk about some cards that I would like to play. And I hope to see you soon.